Exam, a bit disappointing if I'm honest. Seems to be a few mistakes that I'd hope wouldn't be made at this time. So overall score 43%, pass grade was 53%. So you needed an extra 12 marks. There's at least 10, I would say, that are easily picked up, and there's a few misunderstandings as well, which will help on the day. So let's have a look at what happened. Make this a bit bigger. So, good opening start, some little calculations, yes. Prime 15 is not a prime number. Divides by 5 and 3, and it's 13 is a prime number. 11, 13, 17, those sort of things. But the rest of them are good. This one as well, 0.4. 0.4 is nearly a half, isn't it? 0.5. So it won't be a 25th. In fact, 0.4 is 4/10. So it's 4 over 10. The answer is 2/5. Nice little calculation, but sadly, 0 point on that one. This is good. This is a horrible, horrible question because it is impossible, but it's virtually impossible. So when it says, normally these questions mean it's impossible to find, I don't know. Well, I can't think of anything impossible, but it's absolutely impossible. A normal dice rolls a 7. That's impossible. But this isn't quite impossible. It's just extraordinarily unlikely. So I don't like that question. That's right. This one, I don't know what went wrong here, because you know your probabilities. You've worked out the harder question. How many vowels? Thank you. But this is a letter T, so it's 1. I think for some reason you counted 4 T's occurring as the fourth letter, some sort of thing like that going on. I don't think you were yourself yesterday. Never mind. Very good. That's correct. That's correct. Now, this question, it tells you that this is a 1 cm square grid. So you're just really counting the squares. You have to go with them. If this has been printed so that that distance is only 7.7 cm, that doesn't matter. They've told you it's 1 centimetre. So the answer is 8 times 50, which is 400. So I think that's a simple 2 that you wouldn't lose again. Brilliant bit of work here. 2 times 2 times 2, 8. It's always nice to know how many you're getting. Got them out in a very good order as well. 1/8. Banker question, well done. This one, yeah, you got your minutes sorted. This comes up again and again and again. And the secret is you have to keep the time in hours. You're working out, where are we? Kilometers per hour. So the distance has to be in kilometers and the time has to be in hours. And this question tests that. Does the candidate know that 15 minutes has to be converted into hours? And you should know that now. Also, it's a horrible little calculation. It's 1.2 divided by a quarter. So if you imagine 1.2 and a line and a quarter underneath, multiply top and bottom by 4, you get 4.8 over 1, which is 4.8. Not a nice little calculation, to be honest, but no one's walking at 8 kilometers an hour. And there's a lot of time going into this. So convert your time in minutes, from minutes, or rather, into hours. This question, yeah, it's not easy. And this is what I mean about understanding what's going on. A little bit of thinking about there's a £1 tip here. So I have travelled a number of kilometres, km, and I'm paying £2 for every kilometre, plus I'm adding a tip, and that's equal to 10. If you could get out this, if you like, this basic equation from the text, then of course you subtract 1, so you have km times 2 equals 9, and divide by 2, kilometres equals 4.5. But the other thing is, if you checked this, you'd have said, okay, I'm 6 kilometres, how much does that cost? Well, it's 12. And that's that. That's not the right answer, because the answer's got to be 10. So a little bit of time thinking about what's going on and checking would have probably found that. This one, yeah, very good. This one. No, they want a decimal. So an easy decimal is 0.615. Just get it from this thing here. But no, sadly. Now, this one, Yeah, very good. Now you've converted it into a percentage, 72%. You've done the same here, 14 over 20. Somehow you've got 100 over 20 is 50, and you've multiplied 50 times 14 and got an answer of 700. Well, you're comparing 72 and 700. It just doesn't seem right, does it? And the percentage being 700. So something's gone astray here, and you might have spotted that. But bizarrely, you only dropped 1 mark because you're allowed to make a mistake on this calculation, and you compared those two and you got the mark. But that was a very generously marked question. This one, I'm amazed you didn't get this one right. You started off large equals 3n, small equals n, and then you've started off introducing these numbers. Don't know why, because it is 2 small plus 1 large equals 2 times n plus 3n, that's what a large is worth, and that's equal to 5n. I thought that was an easy one. This one, you did okay. You multiplied by 200, yes, 9.5 times 200 is 900. I didn't see the decimal place there, but it is 900. But it's not 9 kilograms. A kilogram is 1,000 grams. So if you have t grams, you divide t by 1,000 to get it into kilograms. And so 900 equals 0.9. 900 over 1,000, divide top and bottom by 1,000, it's 9/10. So Trixie, that one. Yeah, this one. I don't know why you said 8. Maybe you were thinking about 8 times 2 to get to 16. But then you've gone and drawn something which has an area of 8. An area of 8, not an area of 16. Had this gone all the way here to make it 8 by 2, I do think we are 8 by 2 is the correct answer. And you don't get anything for what you did, I'm afraid, because either get a shape that is the perimeter of 20 or get 16 area and you get a mark. Get the two of them and you get the 2 marks. I marked this correctly to begin with, and I realised that we'd both gone wrong. A radius is half the length of a diameter. So if the radius is 8, the diameter is going to be 16. And because of that, this second half is wrong as well. I mean, you've done the work, 8 and 4. Unfortunately, it's the other way round. So that question was a shame, really. I thought that might have been something. Now, this is a misunderstanding. Oh, first of all, lovely question at the top. 5 squares, 25, 7 times that. You've done the calculation, 2 marks, well done. BIDMAS, there's a misunderstanding here. We didn't do any of these questions of this type. I didn't think they came up in the exam. BIDMAS is 4 times 3 first, and then you minus 1 plus 4 is 6. But as you can see, if you do that, this doesn't make any sense. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 1, 11, plus 6 is 17. The question asks you to put in brackets which changes the order from BIDMAS into another order that makes the question make sense. So where do these brackets go? Well, there's only 2 places they can go. It can go here, but that doesn't change. That is BIDMAS, so that doesn't change it. I can put them around the 3 and the 1. So I've got 4 times 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 times 2 is 12. Sorry, 4 times 2 is in fact 8. Plus 6 is 14. That makes it make sense. If I put it around the 6 and the 1, it doesn't, because that's 12 minus 7. So that's not right. So the answer is get your brackets around the 3 and the minus 1. In this one, I'd have written 6 above 36. That would just give me a little bit of a mental zip. But yes, that you've put them where BIDMAS is. So that's 6 divided by 2 is 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, not equal to 2. There's only one place where you can put the brackets, and that's around the 2 and the 3. And then you've got 6 divided by 2 plus 3. Well, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we might do some of those. I might send you some. Corbett put some of these into his BIDMAS paper. Question 11. Right, good first question. 3 hours 42. 42 divided by 3 is 14. Right, in the second, this is a different person now working. I don't like this question. You've got to notice this is a different person, a different pay. 8 hours for 120. Now, I think what you've done is you said, oh, well, they're working 12 hours. So that's an extra 4 hours, 4 times 120, which isn't right, obviously, because that's a ridiculous amount of money to earn for 12 hours work. What you were supposed to do is say, oh, well, 8 hours gets you 120 down here. So I divide by 8. So 1 hour gives me 120 divided by 8, 15. Just what you've done here to work out the hourly rate. But she's worked 12 hours, so it's times 12. 12 equals 12 times 15, 180. And then if you checked it, you go, well, 180, well, that's more than 120, isn't it? But then she's working more hours. She's doing 12 instead of 8, and she's earning 18 over 12. So that seems reasonable. The second question, very good. 2% of 18. 18 times 2% is 0.36, which is 36p. Nice little 2 marker there. Lovely question here. Quite easy one, really, isn't it? Simple graph. Put in your things, put in your spots, and line them up. 4 marks. I mean, they have to be a gimme. All right. Oh, this is a hard question. This is a hard question. You had to work out what was going on, and it was not straightforward. The price that you paid, a quarter of it was paid as the deposit. Deposit's a quarter. And then the rest is 6 times 57. And you've worked out 6 times 57, for which you've got a mark. However, the thing to remember is that that is 3/4 of the price. Now, you've divided by a quarter, but that's not the full price. This is 3/4 of the price, 6 times 57, and you're after a quarter, so you divide it by 3. Hard question, very easy to get that one wrong. I suspect a lot of people got that one wrong. Oh, this was a shame. Right, first of all, when you're describing something, I think you mean £4 per 100 would be more expensive than the flapjacks, which is true, an allowable answer. There's 1,000,001 different answers to this. But if you're saying bigger, that's not really, the price is larger or bigger, but just say more expensive, not bigger. I very generously gave you something for that. This one, you're trying to find out something that's comparable. Now, in the past papers, you've said, oh, well, divide by the number of litres, or I think you've divided to get it, you're comparing the price of 100 grams. Here, the obvious one is the price of a biscuit. So 150 pence divided by 50 would give me the price of the biscuit. I've got it over here. 50 biscuits, 150. Divide by 50, 1 biscuit is 3p. 30 biscuits is 96p. So if I divide by 30, well, 90 divided by 30 gives me 3. And I've still got 6 divided by 30. I don't even need to work that out because I know that's going to be more. So this is going to be more than 3p a biscuit. Bang. It's got to be the 50 biscuit pack. Not a nice question, but that is doable for you. What else have we got? Are we up to question 13 yet, which I'm calling halfway? Question 13, which I'm calling halfway. Horrible little sum, which you got right. That's a horrible one because it's so easy to get the decimal place wrong, but you got it right. Well done. This was all right. Yeah, get it into 12ths, 5/12. And this one is a funny one, isn't it? Funny one. I think what you did was to say, okay, that's been increased by 10-fold. That's been increased by 1,000-fold. And then you've increased this one by 10,000-fold. Haven't you? 1, 2, 3, 4. You have. You've increased this by 10,000-fold. The thing is, it's this times this equals that. So if this is up by 10 and the whole thing's up by 1,000, you only need to multiply this thing by 100. This is a sort of maths question that never gets in your syllabus, I don't think. It's in the syllabus, yeah, you should know it, whatever, but it never gets asked, only in exams. But it is in an exam. So if the answer's up 1,000-fold and that's up 10-fold, this has to be up 100-fold because 10 times 100 is 1,000. So it's a smaller answer than what you've got there. Tricky. Now I'm just going to close off this one. I'm going to send up these in 2 batches. That's the first batch.